Yelling's not helpful. Caitlin's going to attempt to answer your question.
Okay. First of all, all of those I don't even know what to call them, but this is a voluntary program. We really, honestly, we really are here to listen to concerns and to try to address those. Because the thing is, if we weren't interested in learning about these things and trying to prepare a program that is kind of in line, I guess, and have this reality check with public interest and concerns, we wouldn't be here, okay? So I just would like you all to keep that in mind as well. We have welcomed you here today to engage you in listening to your concerns, and that's why we're here. If we weren't interested and we were just, going to go do our own thing, we really wouldn't be here. So.
But you're still guaranteed.
Okay, so
but it's
with that, we have two more things to do.
Where's the answer?
I promised you I would say nothing about vaccines. I know nothing about them. I am useless to you on an answer to a question of vaccines. I'm here for a meeting, and we're here to make sure you have clickers. So there's one more thing I'm here to, actually there are two more things we have to do. One, the University of Nebraska evaluation. We want to know.
As unusual, when I was reading the introduction here for on this new format, it reads here that the CDC is relying on a model that has effectively engaged both stakeholders and citizens at large in past projects. I'm just curious to know what the terminology of the stakeholders is, if we're not the stakeholders themselves being.
Mike, do you want to speak to that?
Good. So it was our hope that this room would be filled by folks, general public. And we then also have a meeting that's coming up, and that was true of all 10 of the meetings that we did, both before this one, same time as this one, and next weekend. There is a meeting of what we call stakeholder groups, and the representatives of stakeholder groups in Washington, D.C., September 10 and 11. So that's kind of an invite-only, national level, kind of organized around these issues kind of people. So on the vaccine concern side, the person that I've been in communication with is Barbara Lowe Fisher at the National Vaccine Information Center in Washington, D.C. So she has agreed to come and express some of the very concerns about vaccine safety that you have articulated and others. The other stakeholders include the National Association of Rural Health Providers. So this is an association of people in rural communities who have to deal with health questions. So we want to know how this plays in rural America, and so that's a network of people that you could reach anywhere across the country in rural settings. The other one that comes to mind, the National Association of College Health somebody, I forget what they're called. Anyway, but it's all the people who run the, who are concerned with college health. So an outbreak in a dormitory of H1N1 or anything else would come to the attention of these people who are working on colleges. So it's that kind of thing. It's those sorts of folks. And one representative from the state of New York, one representative from New York City. Same is true of the other 10 locations, so we'll have state and local people as well. We will run them through this same meeting, then we will give them what you did and ask them to wrestle with the differences, if there are any, between what you did and what they did. And give some conclusion.
It says anti-vaccination and distrust of government here in New York City than you have in other places.
No. Here's what I'll tell you. I can only speak to meetings that I've been at. 3 weeks ago, Mike and I had a meeting in Denver where there were
Are Change
more people who were vaccine concerned than here, not just in general numbers, but also in a percentage of overall numbers. And then I would say maybe slightly fewer than New York and vastly fewer than Denver in Sacramento. Our reports from the other meetings that Mike and I did not attend were that no one has seen as many as what we saw in Denver, although it sounds like Pennsylvania, Bucks County, Pennsylvania today is also having a very lively discussion. So there's some variation. But y'all aren't the winner. I know you have to think that you're the best at everything, but you're not the winner in this.
Yes, we are.
Joanne had mentioned that the vaccine is currently in production, but if there's so many questions and the technicalities haven't been answered, what are you producing?
What do you mean? Why?
If you don't know the details of the vaccine or the problem, what are you guys exactly producing? If it's already in production, and if it was that big of a deal, don't you think it would already be a pandemic or an epidemic?
Yeah, honestly, I'm from the Keystone Center, and I'm not producing anything except for apparently questions. So, Caitlin, do you want to answer that? You can use my Lindy mic here or borrow his mic. I feel like I'm at a bar.
I think you really hit on one of the key things.
Close to your mouth, please.
Oh.
Thanks.
I'm a former teacher, so I just feel like I should be able to project, but I guess not. I think you hit on one of the key issues and one of the key things that we're dealing with here, and that is that there is uncertainty about what's going to happen with this, but flu season is upon us, right? I mean, and if we hold off, then we miss the potential to protect a lot of people that could be protected during this flu season. And so that's what kind of the case is.
But if you don't know what you're really producing, how are you already started producing it?
And Monique, you haven't been introduced, so can you say who you are before you start answering questions?
Yes, certainly. I'm
Thanks.
Monique Manser. I work with the Department of Health and Human Services, and I'm specifically working in the office that is working with the companies to manufacture the vaccine. So,
Will you put the microphone closer to your mouth?
absolutely.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Okay. No, the other way.
Like it's a cocktail.
Tip it toward you.
Got it.
There.
From the microphone.
Got it. Anyway, so the vaccine that's currently being manufactured is matched to the vaccine, I think Dr. Kono said earlier today, is being matched to the vaccine that was circulating in the spring. And again, we are actively, the department, CDC, is actively monitoring throughout the world, now in the Southern Hemisphere, the virus as it moves through populations in the Southern Hemisphere. No indication yet that it has changed. And the vaccine is currently, as was also discussed, undergoing clinical testing to determine its licensability through the Food and Drug Administration, FDA.
Every day it's like a battle for your soul. Be aware of all the weapons that you have at your disposal. Know without a doubt in your heart and soul that no man can stop you from reaching the hardest goal. But you allow it to happen. Coward, but you got the power to stop them, the power to trap them, to lock them in. They can't live without your fear like it was oxygen. So breathe in deep and expel the fear and toxins. Stand with me, you might feel the sand shifting, and step away from the sins of our ancestry.
Ain't nobody gonna lead the way. It's up for you and me to make the differences we're trying to see and take control of our own minds.
How many people got control